What up, Dokkaners? Top grossing. That's the conversation that is circulating right now on Twitter when it comes to the Dual Dokkan Festival, Goku and Piccolo. It's been a couple of days since the banners have released, and at this point, I mean, what? It's been 3 days? How have we not received any sort of top grossing rewards? Well, the answer is because we didn't get it. JP didn't get top grossing, which is a big surprise considering the way in which top grossing is calculated on JP. But we need to talk about this because in terms of rewards, while top grossing may not be happening, we might still be getting something at some point. So let's discuss by talking about that. Global did receive some accolades, but not enough to warrant top grossing as well. And as you guys know, if JP gets a certain level of rewards, Global tends to get something close, if not the same. And it's usually vice versa. So in this particular instance, if JP doesn't hit top grossing, then what sense is there in Global getting something itself, right? I mean, it could still happen. There's always a chance that Global could get something that JP doesn't, but more often than not, that's never the case. So this is what happened. So apparently, FGO, Fake Grand Order, shout out to any Fake Grand Order players out there. Y'all's game has been killing it lately, and apparently you guys are on a rampage right now. So that's why you guys were able to dominate the charts on the JP side. Now, I will link a pinned Reddit post in the pinned comment for you guys to go check out. I always talk about this on every top grossing video. It explains exactly how top grossing works. Basically, long story short, for the JP side, it's a whole lot easier to achieve top grossing because you just have to hit #1 at some point during the day. It's not something where you have to finish the tabulation period at #1. You simply just have to hit #1 at any point. And if you do, you get top grossing. So usually within like the half-day period, we will have some sort of announcement on the JP side that top grossing was achieved. Didn't happen this time. And it's because of Fake Grand Orders. So Dokkan may have, I don't know the sales numbers exactly how it did, but I would imagine that Dokkan did pretty well. It's just that FGO did way better. So that's not to take anything away from either one. It's just that there's another game out there that exists. Shocking, So yeah, with FGO taking top grossing, Dokkan couldn't get it on JP. And then on the global side of the game, let's check out the numbers. So on the 27th, we can't really count this because we weren't able to get a full tabulation period yet for every single region. You have to remember when the banner releases on something like the 27th late evening or early evening, half of the world is already into the 28th. So you have to give every region a chance to have a full 24-hour cycle. So we're going to start the numbers from the 28th. So we're looking at the iOS revenue. And obviously this is just a jungle right here. So if you go to the 28th, this is the best shot. It's the first day after a Dokkan Festival's release. Stone sales and hype and all that stuff will generally fuel the most amount of success on that first day. So if the 28th ain't gonna cut it, you're not getting it. So based on these, yeah, we didn't get it. France got close in all categories. Second, Hong Kong, Macau, Luxembourg, they had 3s and 4s. Usually we have at least 1 or 2 category or regions in all categories #1, but the best that we got is #1 in games in 3 regions. This isn't usually what constitutes top grossing. Top grossing's got to be the entire category section, but of course Dokkan is known to fudge with the numbers a little bit, so they can do that from time to time. But that's usually when JP hits top grossing, Global doesn't, and they're kind of trying to give the little brother a consolation prize to make them feel like they still did something, So with neither version really doing anything, can they justify giving top grossing to Global under an all games sales result? I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see what that is. Now, in terms of the timetable, it's already been 3 days, or I guess 2 days if you don't want to count the 27th. So it's already been 2.5 days, and we still haven't heard anything, which basically tells me there's not going to be any sort of announcement for top grossing. But if we look back at last year's celebration for Golden Week, this was for the Android Cell Saga Goku and Cell. Here, we didn't get top grossing. And in fact, I was looking through to see when we got the announcement. This is actually when the banner started for last year's Golden Week. It was on the 27th at 4 a.m. That is 15 hours earlier than the time that we had this year. This year was on the 27th at 7 p.m. So 1900 hours. So this being at 4, that's a 15-hour difference. So even if you want to add 15 hours to the announcement of the thank you rewards here, the start date for this one was the 29th. Actually, wait. Is it the 29th or the 28th? I don't know. So, okay, you know what? Let's actually count this one. So if we count the 29th at 2 a.m., right? You had 15 hours. That would be 1700 hours. So that would be 5 o'clock. And that was yesterday. So me posting this video on the 30th, pretty much a telling evidence right there that we are not going to be getting the same sort of timetable for the reward distribution if we get anything. But this is a thank you. So neither version hit top grossing, I don't believe, which is why they just gave us gifts including blah, blah, blah. They don't even say why. To celebrate? Oh, just to celebrate. Yeah, see? So this is all that they did. So I would imagine something like this would happen this year as well. The fact that it hasn't happened yet either tells me that they're just taking their time with it, or they're perhaps saving it until the end of the Golden Week celebration to maybe more justify such a high stone turnout after maybe the results of the part 2 banners. We don't know what the part 2 banner or banners are going to be. You know, there's no way of knowing at the moment. So maybe depending on how the part 2 sales perform, maybe then they will give us some sort of a reward that is, I don't know, justifiable given the numbers then. You know, one could argue Dokkan's being stingy, sure, yada, yada, yada. But in terms of a reward system, if it's not top grossing, I personally don't feel like they care about timeliness, because what's the point? Top grossing would happen when top grossing happens. Since there was no top grossing, they have no, I guess, legal obligation. I don't know what else to call it. They have no obligation to give us these rewards in a timely fashion. So in terms of when to expect something, I can't tell you. Check every single day. I'll let you know the second we get some sort of a reward. But in the meantime, yeah, they just didn't hit the numbers. Now on the, you know, if we go past the 28th, we go to the 29th, it's not happening. It's always the first day. Because look at how this just gets worse and worse and worse. Now we're at number 1 in only like games in action. That's not how you get top grossing. And then on the Android side, it's never good on the Android side. 28th, this is what we got. France was 127th on the Android. We go to the 29th, it's like 10 times worse. Wait, whoa. Actually, not as bad. Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, because Android takes a little bit longer to tabulate. So actually, things turned up here. We got one number 1 in games in action. I mean, look at that. So yeah, there's just no justifiable reason for us to get any sort of reward for that. And that's pretty much all that there is. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Dokkan is still doing well. You know, just because another game performed better in the top grossing region doesn't mean Dokkan did poorly. It just means that other games exist, you know? Shocker. People like games other than Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. I know, it's weird, right? So, you know, maybe we'll get something. I wouldn't wait for it, but if it happens, it happens. If you're somebody who's trying to save stones, or you're trying to hold out for one more summon on the Dual Dokkan Festival banner, well, you know, that's where other events come into play, login bonus and all that stuff. But in terms of a top grossing being the one to save you, nope. Have zero faith in that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the notion that some people may have, where if you don't hit top grossing, Dokkan is dying or Dokkan is underperforming. Let me know your thoughts about when we should be possibly getting a thank you reward for something like a joint Golden Week celebration. We should be getting something. When do you think we could conceivably receive some rewards? And how much would you say is a rational amount, given the lack of top grossing? Should it be 30 Dragon Stones just like last year? Should it be a little bit less, a little bit more? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let you know when I see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned, and always remember to. I was gonna say, always remember to gross topping responsibly. Something's wrong with me. Always remember to Dokkan responsibly. What even is a